Good morning and welcome to the studio here at African Utility Week. I'm Claire Falkvane. I'm the editor of Metering and Smart Energy International, and with me today we have Geofrey Bakkabulindi, who is the Secretariat Manager for the FiT program out of Uganda. Geofrey, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Thank you.
I have to ask, what is FiT? Can you talk us through why a program like this was developed?
Yeah, FiT Uganda was initiated in May 2013, and it was developed to leverage private investments in renewable energy projects. And so the idea was to provide a top-up to the existing FiT tariff, and then use this top-up to attract private investments into Uganda's renewable energy space. So the objective was to enable the country pursue a climate resilient, low carbon path in its development.
And how has this program worked? How has it impacted on the lives of Ugandans?
I think it's impacted the country in a number of ways. I would say the first is in the context of creating an enabling and conducive environment for private investment in the country. We have been able to create bankable and transaction documents for investors to come in and develop these projects, starting with the power purchase agreement, which was not bankable before, and also different agreements between investors and the government to give them confidence. But in addition to that, we have direct agreements between the government and the financing institutions. In case anything happens to the development of the projects, they can take over and step in. So we have this multifaceted investment environment that's been created by the program. But in addition to this, we have, I think, increased access as well, because a lot of the renewable energy projects, the smaller ones, are located in remote rural areas. And to get the power out, you have to reinforce the grid in those areas. And this has enabled these areas to be also electrified. But in addition to this, we have a spin-off effect from the program. We have developed a lot of confidence that has spilled over to other sectors of the economy because of the confidence that people have in the government to implement a relatively successful program like FiT. We have now interest in mini grids and agriculture and things like that. So it's been a good additional effect to the government initiatives.
How would a program like this translate into other African countries?
I think it can work in countries that have a liberalized power sector. So a fully unbundled sector, if possible. Then it should have a refit in place. And then if it's an emerging electricity market, then a top-up program like FiT could be useful.
So if you had a situation where you had, say, similar to South Africa, where the tariffs are determined effectively on a competitive basis, would a program like FiT work there, or is it purely if there's a feed-in tariff already in place?
In Uganda, it worked quite well because there was a refit in place initiated in 2007. But the refits were too low to attract people to come in and build power plants. And since they were revised in 2012, still the revision was not sufficient. And therefore, it was important to bring in a program like FiT to create these synergies between the government and the private sector, because the refit was simply insufficient to create this investment. So we got then the government through the Electricity Regulatory Authority working with the development partners to design this program. And the development partners are Norway, EU, Germany, and the UK. And then it's implemented through KfW, German Development Bank. So I think once you have this, it has to be an emerging market. If it's a very advanced electricity market, then there's no need for FiT. And so I think in South Africa it's quite advanced, and it may not be necessary to have a top-up program. In Uganda we have the FiT program has closed with regard to financing new projects, and so everything's committed. But we have seen interest by investors to come and build power plants even without GetFit, the old and existing tariffs, because of the fact that everything is in place. The period for developing projects has reduced considerably as a result of the mechanisms that have been put in place by the program. So it's easier and less money is spent on following up transactions in the country.
So I guess that means that the risk profile for Uganda and for projects in Uganda look completely different to what they did 5 years ago?
Yes, in 2013 we had, when the program was designed, it included a World Bank partial risk guarantee. And this was designed intended to give confidence to developers in case the government was unable to pay for the power that they produced. And also for various guarantees to the government as well. So that guarantee has not worked to date because, and it was discontinued in 2016 because the profile has changed considerably and the developers no longer needed to take it on after a couple of years because of the confidence they had in the government and the off-taker, UETCL, the transmission company. So this has turned around quite a lot in the last few years.
Nice to be able to operate in an environment where you don't need a sovereign guarantee, isn't it? So the last question that I have, unfortunately time is limited, but I do have to ask, what lessons have you learned and what lessons do you think are important for other countries to be aware of if they're wanting to implement something like GetFit?
I think that one of the key lessons that we have learned has been on having a strong regulator on the ground, that the program must be owned by the government, strong ownership. That has been very important. So the Electricity Regulatory Authority has been key in driving this program through because they have a strong ownership of the program. But also you have a lot of different stakeholders to work with in this kind of refit program. And therefore it's important to have a secretariat on the ground that helps to coordinate the developers and the government and the development partners and so on. And also the existence of innovative donor funding has been quite important in different aspects of the program as well. So when it came to evacuating power plants, the government needed some support in addition to the policies that they had in place. And this money came through from the donors to reinforce the networks for the grid. So it's been quite useful. Another thing that I think could be useful would be I think we've had a strong implementing consultant. Everything was tendered through 3 rounds of proposals. We had good tender agents and so on, and so that's been useful to have a successful program in this regard. We've also had strong monitoring for results throughout the program, and that's been key. And a good engagement with the government and the development partners has been also useful for the program to work well.
Yeah, I think people often say that political will is key to making any project work, and I guess the GetFit program has been a very good example of not only the political will but the ability and the desire of all of the parties to work together.
Yes, I agree totally.
Well, Geoffrey, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate the time. And I'm sure that this is not the last time that we're going to be talking to you. I've been following the progress of GetFit right from the beginning, and it's always so encouraging to see how well it's working.
Thank you.
From African Utility Week, I'm Claire Falkvane. Thanks so much for watching.